Hello and welcome to the Halfback Podcast out of NRL Round 25. I'm your host, Tim Williams, and we're here to once again try and find some winners for the punters out there, the half-backed audience out there. To do it with me, as always, NRL analyst Matty, the Waterboy. Matty, how are you, mate?
I'm good. Much better than the last few weeks. We'll get to the accountability stuff, but a couple of near misses, a couple of wins. Not as horrific as the last few weeks, but it's been good. It's been good.
Some green ticks on the board, Matty. So, look, it's as you said, when you come from the bottom where there are no winners across the board anywhere, it's like you take anything. And, there's been a little bit this week. So we are up and about a little bit more so, at least one of us. On today's show, straight into it today, hitting the road to the might of the Snowy Mountains late tonight. So getting through this one a little shorter and sharper than usual. Today's show will drop our lock value and Hail Mary bets for NRL Round 25, reveal our moral of the week to try and land a certain thing to get to $1,000 to donate it back to Bush Footy, and we're looking all right there just quietly. We're going to recap the halfback punter of the week and then drop our head-to-head tips for round 25. Matty, let's start with you, mate. Your lock of the week, the Knights to score over 29.5 total points at $1.72. Mate, not a massive paying lock, but at the end of the day, that puts you in the black for the week, a profit, and a very tidy little lock.
That's all I needed. That's all I needed after a couple of weeks where it didn't get ups. But yeah, just glad the Knights could, because it wasn't looking like it was humming along early, but then the Titans kind of mounted a little bit of a comeback. But yeah, they ended up getting that pretty easily. So happy with that one.
Well, smart punting after a bit of a toughish run, just to be sensible and not be greedy and go $1.72 short, and it paid off for you, mate. Your value play of the week. This is where the hard luck stories do come in a little bit. Your value play of the week was the Dragons to win head-to-head, which you ticked off there into Kale Iro, anytime try score at $4.40. Iro was pulled back. I can't remember if it went up a try upstairs or not, but he had his heel on the line, putting the ball down for a try. So absolutely ripped to pieces there. And you Hail Mary, you had Greg Marju and Tyrell Sloan to score doubles at $15.75. I think at halftime Marju had his double and Sloan had one. Mate, I'll leave the rest of the story to you.
Yeah, well, Marzu got his double and then Sloan got his first try in the 20th minute. So I was like, let's go. And then I was kind of watching the game. I was at a lunch, so I was watching the game from afar without commentary. And Sloan actually scored the second try off a forward pass. So I thought I'd won. Now, the replays show that it did go forward. It was definitely the right call. But I thought I'd won, which is very disappointing. But God, that was close. So yeah, a couple of close ones for me this week.
Heartbreaking, mate. My Hail Mary, we were both on at halftime. I had Hamish Stewart into Adam Dewey at $12, and Hamish Stewart scored in the first half for the Dragons. I messaged you at halftime and said, mate, surely someone's lobbed Hail Mary here. Unfortunately, Dewey did not get over in the second half. My lock of the week, some more heartbreak. Kale Iro, anytime try score at $2.25. So there was a tear shed when I saw that heel on the line. And look, got to wear it. I had the Sharkies and the Knights to win 13+. The Knights, I think they got their 13+ in the end, didn't they? There was a few tries for the Titans. But regardless, the Sharkies,
Titans scored at the end.
Yeah. Irrelevant, thankfully, because I went in on the Sharkies. I thought they were going to do a job on the Raiders, but the Raiders, they were tremendous at Shark Park and got the job done. So, mate, 0 from 3 from me. I am in a hole. Thankfully, you've dug yourself out of yours of late with a few winners on the trot, I believe. Mate, that puts you at negative 7% ROI return on investment for the season. I am still in second, and that gap is widening. I'm at negative 16% ROI, and I'm trying to knock you off, but also just the battle to be in the black, to be in a profit at the end of the season. We will go through the finals as well, so there's time, but it's getting me a little bit more anxious. How are you feeling there at negative 7 and back in form?
Yeah, well, I'm feeling more optimistic because, as you said a few weeks ago, when you get one winner, you feel like you're invincible and on top of the world. So hopefully I haven't gone too rogue this week. It's all about putting those week to weeks together. And that's something that I did do at the start of the year, something we both did at the start of the year. And then both of us have fallen off at different times of the year. So let's hope we have a big strong back end to the year.
Yeah, the start of the year feels a long time ago for me, mate. What's gambling
Yeah.
really costing you? For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. On to the round 25 bets. 65% goes to our lock, 25% to our value, and 10% to our Hail Mary. You mentioned, Matty, that you need to put winners on top of winners on this show. Let's see what you can do, your lock of the week.
So my lock of the week, I think that this round is, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, there's going to be a lot of smashings. There's going to be a lot of big scores, and I'll touch on them kind of later in the show with my Hail Mary, but none more so than the Roosters versus Tigers. Honestly, this game could be anything. This game could be, I don't know if it's going to be record breaking. I don't think it's going to be anything like the Cowboys game, but I do think the Roosters are going to put a score on the Tigers. The Tigers, they've been absolutely terrible. Now that Dewey's out, I think Tedesco's back. Obviously, he makes a huge difference, but even if Ramsey was fullback, I'd still back him to score a lot of points. Not a lot of value around the Roosters, obviously, because everyone kind of thinks the same way I am. Like the line's 24.5, which is crazy. To be fair, I think they'll hit it, but it's still such a big line to put as a lock. So I've gone to a market which I went to last week, but I've also had success on this show before with the Roosters on Anzac Day, and the Roosters scored 60 against the Dragons. I'm just going to go Roosters to score over 37.5 points at $1.80. Honestly, they could get that by halftime.
Yeah.
There's no, I mean, I don't want to make any statements, but like surely they'll score 38 points at least. I think it's going to be 50 or 60. I think they'll get that 38 points pretty comfortably. So that's the best value I could find from that game when it comes to like head-to-head results. So yeah, Roosters over 35. Sorry, Roosters over 37.5 for $1.80.
Well done, mate. You got there. And yes, it's one of them ones where you look at that amount of points, and it's even if the Tigers do turn up and put it to the Roosters for a while in this one, 3 late tries or the last 20 minutes, whatever it might be, they could reach it anyway, even if it's a 40-10 kind of scoreline. So with you on that one, mate. For myself, I'm in a rut at the moment. That is well known across the Halfback podcast between yourself and I and the listeners. And there are two types of people. You know, you can either cower away into a hole, play it safe, or you can just go balls to the wall and you can go on the offense. I have boldly decided to cower into a hole and play it extremely safe and try and get back in the winner's circle this week. So I have gone to the same game, and I have gone Billy Smith, anytime try scorer, into the Roosters to win head-to-head at $1.72. It's the lowest I've had. Yeah, it's the lowest I've had in ages. And I was looking at James Tedesco at $2. I do need to shout out Bet365 in this one because their markets for the anytime try scorers in this game are a lot better than elsewhere for whatever reason. So, but with Teddy, the injury concern, does he even play? Could he be late withdrawal? Does he get an early shower if they're winning well at halftime, whatever it might be? So I just played it very safe for the first time in a while, and I've gone Billy Smith into the Roosters. Billy Smith himself was, I think, $1.65 or $1.63 or something, and then just the winning it bumped it up that little bit more. So if you can get over the line, they win the game. It will be a profit for the week and one that I desperately, desperately need. I'm with you, mate. I think it'll be a bloodbath. Hugo Savala inside him has been outstanding this season when that combination has been together on the left with Dan Tupu out. 7 tries in 6 games on the wing for Billy Smith. Adam Dewey out on that edge as well means Jock Madden comes in, so that's a massive factor in it also. So Billy Smith into the Roosters. And, mate, with your lock of the week, I can't imagine you'd be too far against this one.
No, I'm with you 100%. I think that side is going to be the side for the Roosters. And that actually goes nicely into my value play of the week. So I might as well just get into it because my value play of the week is for Key to score at $4. I couldn't believe it when I saw him at that. Now that was, I think Bet365 was where I found that as well because most of them were about, I mean, to be fair, most of them were still about 350, 360. But for Keddy, he isn't a noted try scorer, but like he's played so many games off the bench and now he's taken over Angus Crichton's spot. He scored twice in the last 3 weeks. So they're going to attack that side. That's the side for the Roosters this week. To be fair, the side could be any side. Like they're going to score at any point of the field. But yeah, when it comes to value plays, there wasn't much value in many Roosters players, and I do think there's going to be a lot of scores over the weekend, but I just couldn't go past this. I really think he's going to score a try. I had to look at him for a double at it was 16, I think it was. It might have been 15. But I thought maybe don't be so greedy, but don't put it as your Hail Mary. Just put it as your value because I really do think he's going to score. So for Ketty at $4.
He was one of the first names I flagged as well, and I was going to put him in my plays, and then I found some other things, and he just fell out of them somehow. But I think I was planning on, at the very least, I was going to put him as my value as well, and then I was like, I didn't really want to double dip into the Roosters too much, thinking that you'd probably go into that game a little bit as well. I was going to Hail Mary him, but then I found something else there. But yeah, and then on top of that, again, he'll be now running at Madden instead of Adam Dewey, so I really do like that play. Mate, for myself, I have gone to the value play Isaiah Papali'i at $5.25 in the Thursday night clash this week against the Storm. The Penny Panthers, all of a sudden, they have a lot on the line with losses over the last couple of months. They're cruising up top. Now they find themselves in a battle for that top 2 spot. He will be running, as the Melbourne Storm team has been named currently, at Trent Tolau. Now, Tyron Wishart could come in there. I still like IPAP as a play, but Tolau's the big one, and I really like for IPAP on the left edge, Jack Cogger rather than Blaze Talangi. Blaze Talangi, like they're completely different halves, right? Talangi, he's this blazing, pardon the pun, but like raw talent, incredible attacker. Jack Cogger, he's the more traditional, go to the line, square up and get the back row one-on-one, isolate the half. He does this really well and better than what Blaze Talangi does. As I said, both terrific players, both very, very different players. And I think Cogger suits Isaiah Papali'i's try-scoring credentials and chances a lot more than what Blaze Talangi does, who tends to skip about a lot and play it wide. So I've gone IPAP at $5.25. I think that is tremendous value for the big fella. I haven't had a lot of luck with my back rowers of late, so hopefully this is the week to break that one. Matty, thoughts on big IPAP?
Well, I like Isaiah Papali'i at the best of times to score a try. He's such a good player. But certainly against Melbourne, who, look, I think it's the thing we've waxed lyrical on this show more so than any other thing this year about how bad the Storm edge defense has been all season. So, yeah, I really like it. And at that price as well, that's a really good find.
Let's go. Matty, your Hail Mary of the week. What have you got?
Well, as I mentioned earlier in the show, I think we're going to see some big scores. And I've actually been quite hesitant to put on 1 to 12 and 13 plus bets this year, but I've decided to throw that out the window. I'm just going to go for it. I've been really backing either teams to score points or go for their lines, but I'm just going to. I really do think this is going to be not the prettiest watching for some fans this week. So I'm just picking 3 teams to win 13 plus this week. The Raiders to beat the Broncos. The Broncos are in all sorts. The Raiders are playing for their season. People, including me, I forgot on Monday, and people in the comments reminded me that Raiders are actually still a chance of making the top 8. Yep. They've got more wins than Manly. It's just I think they have the bye in hand, so that's why they're underneath. Is that right?
Yep.
So yeah, they got the bye next week, and then I think they might play the Cowboys.
They play the Cowboys in Townsville, which is essentially the spot that they'll be going for. So I think if the Cows lose, I think they have the Tigers in Townsville around 26. I'm pretty sure they if the Raiders do beat the Broncos, I think they'll need the Cows to lose to the Tigers to that one. But if the Tigers can spring an upset there, which is unlikely but possible, it means the winner of the Cowboys and Raiders will be that 8th spot. So a bit on the line.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I reckon Raiders will pump Bronx. Knights against Manly. The Knights have obviously been my favourite team to bet on the last few weeks. They've gotten a dip in a play here or there in the last, I reckon, 3 or 4 weeks. But Knights 13 plus to smash Manly. It's Old Boys Day. They always show up for Old Boys Day. Oh, actually, not so much in recent years, but traditionally they have shown up at Old Boys Day. And then Sharkies to beat the Titans. The Titans, unfortunately, are done. And the Sharks, they really need a bounce back. I know Trindle's out, which is a huge loss, but it's up at the Gold Coast. But I think the Sharkies will get it done. So those 3 teams to win 13 plus is paying $15.50.
Yeah, we'll get to the tips shortly, but it is one of them weeks where if you're in any tipping competitions where you have jokers or double point rounds, this could be the week to use it, I think, with a few pretty one-sided contests, mate. Certainly a bit of alignment in our plays again this week, whilst being pretty different plays as such. But I've gone to the Raiders and Broncos game as well, and I've gone 3 anytime try scorers in Kaya Weeks, Simi Sasangi, and Ezra Mam to really bump it up at $21. Initially, I had Weeks and Sasangi as my value at $5. But to get Ezra for the Hail Mary, that puts it to $21. Complete contrast to last week where I potted the Raiders pretty hard and failed miserably. The Broncos, they're battered. They're going down to Canberra. It'll be a cold Friday night. And most importantly, it's the spiritual leader, Big Papa, Josh Papali'i's farewell from the capital. Their finals hopes, as you said, are still alive at the moment. The Broncos' left edge, absolutely abysmal defensively. Sasangi, probably been the Raiders' best all year when he's been on deck, having missed a couple of games there. A double in his last game against the Knights. He's back for this game for Papa's farewell and might not even finish the season. That's how much he wants to be a part of this. So, yeah, and look, whilst I'm pretty critical of Ezra Mam defensively on this podcast, week in, week out, the kid can attack. He's very good at it. And when he looked back 2 weeks ago where he scored a hat-trick against the Dolphins in the top 4 of all teams, he's $4 alone to score a try. So I think to be able to bump that up to Hail Mary territory, $21 is not too bad. What do you reckon there, Matty?
Yeah, love it. Love it. I think let's just talk about Big Papa for a second. As a South fan, like he ruined our season in 2019 by scoring that try in the prelim and then advancing to the grand final. But it's funny, I was talking to my mate who's also a South fan. His nickname is the Beer Camel. We were talking on the way out to the game on Friday night. We're talking about Papali'i. We're like, he's just someone that even though he did that to us, you still love him. He's just the best. And to have, I think it's 16 seasons in the NRL in the front row. I mean, he played a bit of back row at the start, I think, but yeah, what a career. So yeah, the boys are sharp for him. I know Sasangi's only playing because Sasangi was part of your plays, right? Sasangi's only playing because of Papali'i. His shoulders cooked. So, and he's been, as you said, one of your best all year. Weeks as a try scorer, and yeah, Mam's been in the headlines this week, so he's an attacking weapon. So yeah, I like it, Timmy.
Beautiful. Yeah, he's one of the. I'm pretty fortunate to have known Big Papa for a long time because he came through the grades with my brother Sam at the pretty much the exact same time, and I'm just trying to get his Raiders number up now, but they'd have been bloody close together, I reckon. So Big Papa came in at, there you go. He was Raider number 300. Sambo was, Sam was 296. So he actually beat Big Papa to the punch, which surprised me a little bit. But yeah, so they came through like from SG Ball and into 20s and all that together for a long time. And as you said, mate, just one of the most beautiful, beautiful men in the world. And like he's a Queenslander through and through, a lot of family up there. Came down to the Raiders at a pretty young age, probably must have been 16, 17 around SG Ball time. And the fact that it's just Canberra has been home for him ever since, and the size of the offers he must have got over the year from Queensland clubs to go back home, and for him to turn down and stay in Canberra, it's unreal. So, yeah, a great night for the Raiders and celebrating Big Papa on Friday down in the capital. All righty, guys, if you tune into this podcast, chances are that you don't mind a little bit of a flutter yourself and love finding some value across the board when you find your weekend winners. We're no different, and to find the best value, each week we've got the benefit of Smart B's Smart Odds, comparing odds from over 100 bookmakers. When I go to have a little bit of a punt on the weekend on my horses in particular, I head to Smart Odds to get the best value. The Wink Stakes is this weekend. There are some absolute superstars. It's one of the most stacked fields I've seen in a long, long time. Don't know who to bet on, but when I do land on something, I'll go straight to the site, compare all the odds and find it in one convenient place rather than bringing up 1,000 different windows. They've also got daily fantasy sports for the super coaches out there. Supercoach in one game, essentially. Particularly good for those of you that are given up in your Supercoach or fantasy seasons. You can win real money and enter free of charge when you use the coupon code SC Playbook on sign up. They'll drop free coins in your account to enter, which you can win real money with. To give it a crack yourself, check out the link in the podcast description on Apple, Spotify, or YouTube. Matty, the halfback punter of the week, number one goes to... You know what? I don't know if I updated the winner's name or if it was double dunk or not, but it was a lock bet of Selwyn Cobbo at $1.65, and there are a lot of good players there that fell one leg short. Ashley Longhurst. I'm skeptical as to when this was posted. I couldn't find it out, but Ashley did have, apparently, Chanel Harris-Tavita, Ali Leotaro anytime try scorers, into Dallin Watenis-Lesniak, and Lofi Khan Pereira to combine for two or more under 54.5 total points at $44.58. Whether it's legit or not, I believe it is. Congratulations, Ashley, because that is monstrous. Leave your plays, guys, in the comment section on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you're tuning in. Put in as many as you like, and we'll read out the best on the show each week. Matty, the moral of the week, trying to roll over our best bet of the week to get to $1,000 to then donate it back to Bush Footy. Last week, you had Alex Johnston, noted scorer of tries, anytime to $1.83, which saluted. That pushes the kitty to $369.66. My turn this week, I have gone to Mark Nwanganita Waze into the Roosters to win at $1.50. I think he was about $1.42 or 3 to score by himself, which is incredible. So we've bumped it up a little bit. Surely the Roosters win that game. If he can get over the stripe, which you'd nearly think he has to, that'll get us above $500 and within touching distance of another donation. Alrighty, mate, let's go to our tips for the week. And we will, because there's a few big margins, we'll probably throw in the margins in a couple of them as well. But firstly, on the head-to-head tips, the Storm and Panthers down in Melbourne. The Storm at $2.97, the Panthers $1.40, the line's 7.5. Who do you like here?
I love the 7.5 line for Penrith. I love it so much. I'll be hitting that.
I'm with you, mate. Look, granted, if Isaiah Yeo was there, it was probably 10.5. But if he was there, it nearly would have been a lock of the week. But I'm with you for the Panthers. Mate, the Raiders and the Broncos. Raiders $1.28. Broncos $3.72 down in the capital. You've already said that you've got the Raiders in this one, I should say. I'm with you comfortably and to cover the line. Friday at 8 p.m. up at Suncorp Stadium in Brizzy. The Dolphins $1.23. Eels $4.20. 13.5 is the line.
Yeah, it's a tough line because I actually think there's going to be a lot of points in this game. I do think the Dolphins will win. If I gun to head, I had to pick one, I'd back the Dolphins with the line rather than give the Eels a start. But I'm not as confident on this one. I do think it'll be high scoring though.
Yeah, Dolphins for me, I think they'll cover the line, but Para playing good footy, so I wouldn't load on it by any means, but I do think they'll cover it. Mate, the Knights and the Seagulls, Saturday, 3 p.m. in Newcastle. Knights $1.47, Manly $2.71. Who do you like here?
Yeah, Newcastle 13+.
Yeah, the Knights $1.47 and the line 6.5 seems pretty generous to me. I like that as well.
Me too.
Bunnies and the Warriors, Matty. This is going to be an absolute freaking cracker. Game of the round. Bunnies $2.22, Warriors $1.67 in Sydney. This one is at a core. Who do you like?
Well, it depends if Latrell plays, I guess. With Latrell, I'm tipping South. Without, I'm probably going the Warriors. But he's been named on the extended bench. He'll probably play, 30, 40 minutes if he does play. So I'm going to assume that he is, and I'm going to tip South.
Yeah. Look, I kind of like the Bunnies as outsiders in this one at home. Look, they're both playing for a lot. Warriors obviously pushing for a top 2, really looking to cement the top 4 position. But I don't know, Bunnies, are the Bunnies locked in the 8 or are they...
One more win they need.
Wrong? One more win.
Yeah.
So they need one more win to cement as well. And look, even if Latrell doesn't play, Tallis Duncan's there and he's killing it. If Latrell does play, even better. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of attack in the Bunnies. I'm going to go the Bunnies in an upset. I just think the odds should be a little bit closer than what they are. And I think from a punting perspective, I just don't mind the Bunnies with how good their attack is. But, it's going to be a good game of footy. Mate, the Doggies and the Dragons. This one is at Allianz Stadium. The Dragons $2.72, Saturday 7:35 p.m. and the Dogs $1.46. Who do you like here?
This is a hard one. This is a really hard one because the Dogs were terrible against South last week. I think the Dogs, everyone was like, they're gone now. They can still make it. So they've got enough to play for that I think they'll get the win.
Yeah, I think the Doggies at those odds. I think they're a much better team than the Dragons. They're both a bit hit or miss, and the Dragons are improving, but I think the Doggies win it. Mate, the Titans and the Sharkies Sunday 2 p.m. on the Gold Coast. Titans $2.74, Sharks $1.46. You're obviously very keen on the Sharkies. I'm with you. I think they have way too much to play for this week after a few down weeks, which they tend to do at times. Sharkies for me, and then Roosters and Tigers Sunday afternoon at Allianz Stadium. The Roosters $1.06, Tigers $9.50, and I think you're with me, Roosters to cover the 24.5 start.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, not definitely, but I think they will.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. A few blowouts to come this weekend, and potentially some huge Supercoach scores if they do eventuate. Matty, that'll do us for the Halfback Podcast for round 25. Thank you very much, mate.
Good luck, Timmy. Enjoy the snow.
I will, mate. Cheers, guys. Good luck this weekend. Thanks for tuning in.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website